This movie cannot be overstated how important it is to DC going forward. I can't remember the last time there was so much riding on one movie. It's rebooting an entire cinematic universe. If this movie comes out the gate and it fails with critics, it fails with audiences, it doesn't make much money, then I have no idea what's going to happen to DC moving forward. I mean, we do have Supergirl locked for next year, so I guess if this movie fails across the board, Supergirl could pick up the slack and Supergirl could reinvigorate the franchise, but I mean, it would just be catastrophic. I don't think this movie is going to make much money, but it does need to be successful with critics and with the audience going forward. So guys, just before we get into this news and start breaking down the financials of this upcoming Superman movie, I just want to show you the track record that DC has over the past decade. This is what we're talking about. So the old regime with the DCEU, I mean, when we look at these figures here, this is just how catastrophic it was for DC. So I mean, DCEU peaked in December 2018 with Aquaman. It made over $1 billion. That was where it peaked. Everything since then has just been downhill. Shazam made $300 million. Birds of Prey made $200 million. Wonder Woman 1984 didn't even crack 170. Then Suicide Squad, that didn't crack 170 million either. Black Adam, less than 400 million. Shazam Fury of the Gods, that was so bad, made less than 150 million. The Flash, 271 million. Blue Beetle, 130, again catastrophic. Then we finish off with the last Aquaman movie, The Lost Kingdom, which made 439. So if you look at this track record here of the old DCEU, all of these movies have just been so bad with their box office. And Superman has got an uphill struggle here to make a lot of money. Can it do it? Based on DC's track record, it's a bit of a shaky one, but can it break the bad box office? That's what I'm trying to say. But I just wanted to break down those figures there, guys. Anyway, let's get into this news and talk about the Superman movie and can it be successful when it comes to profitability. So, we get some potential insights into James Gunn's Superman with the budget, the break-even number and success threshold possibly revealed. So, very, very interesting information with the financials here. Before we dive in, while it was previously reported that the Superman budget was an exorbitant $363 million, if so, that would be insanely ridiculous, which was said to be listed on an official Cleveland tax document, but James Gunn shot that down as being incorrect. So, what is the actual Superman budget? A new report from The Wrap possibly reveals that the Superman budget brings the number back down to earth. Yeah, not really. The site claims that the Superman budget is $225 million. This is insane beyond belief. It literally hurts my head. This is the first live-action DC project out the gate. It's going to be difficult for it to make a profit. Why would you spend $200+ million on this first movie? It's insane. The budget should have been around about the 70 to 100 million, somewhere around that figure, I think. This is the first movie out the gate. You don't know how much money it's going to make. You know, there's no kind of proven track formula with DC so far. You should have made the budget a lot smaller, in my opinion. What is the break-even number here? So, while the site While the site claims anything north of 500 million worldwide would make the movie money, that's likely not the case. Recently, it was reported that Captain America: Brave New World, with a reported budget of 180 million, had a break-even point of 425. So yeah, I mean, when it comes to big Hollywood movies, the rule of thumb is usually the movie has to make 2.5 times its production budget in order to be profitable. So, I mean, if it costs 225, what's that? That's going to be 450. So it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be around about 530 to 550 million, around about that to break even. So, where are we? If Superman's budget is 225, its break-even number would be around, 530 million. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Anywhere from 530 to 550. So really anything above 530 million is what would make Gunn's Man of Steel movie profitable. I think that with this first movie, they're looking at it thinking, you know what? It has to succeed with critics and audiences. It has to build the foundation of what we're doing here with this new DC cinematic universe. If we make a profit, that's a bonus. But I think they just need to win. This movie just needs to be good. And then subsequent movies, as they come out, will make more and more money as word of mouth spreads. and as the popularity of the franchise begins to build. But yeah, I think they know that it's a bit of a hit and a miss whether it's going to make money, this first movie. But it just needs to succeed. That's all it needs to do, in my opinion. What about this success threshold? So the site adds that for Superman to be considered a success, it needs to hit at least 700 million. However, the article spins it as Gunn Superman needing to hit 700 million in the court of public opinion, which obviously depends on whose point of view you're taking. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, 700 million, I think that's ridiculous. This is the first movie in the cinematic universe. Also, based on that table that we looked at of the track record of the DCEU movies, if this movie came out, it made north of 500 million, then I think they're laughing. I think they're winning. If it makes north of 500 million, in my opinion, that would be a gigantic win. Obviously, the movie, like I keep saying, I've said it ad nauseum already, but 500 million and a positive Rotten Tomatoes score with audiences and critics, they're laughing all the way to the bank, in my opinion. And I think the movie succeeded at what it's needed to do. It also includes a quote calling Superman an Eisenhower-era character. While that might fit in some ways, it's still subjective. Superman was created in 1938 and has evolved significantly over the decades. Yeah, I mean, every single iteration of Superman is very, very different from the last. And that's what makes the character fresh and interesting over the time periods. What does Superman really need to succeed? So regardless, is that 700 million figure even accurate? Does James Gunn's Superman need to hit $1 billion to be considered a success? No, it doesn't. A lot of people in this day and age, oh, it didn't make $1 billion, so it's not a success. Like, that's absolute nonsense. That's an absolute just gutter tripe, that is. Like I say, 500 million or north, and I think they're laughing. 700 million box office would definitely go a long way in making Superman a win for Gunn, but fan reaction will also matter. Will the audience be split like they were with the Man of Steel? Yeah, I mean, Man of Steel did make a decent amount at the box office though. So comparing to Man of Steel, back in 2013, Man of Steel made 670 million, which is very respectable. There's so many movies that would kill to make that amount at the box office. Adjusted for inflation, that's nearly $1 billion today. So if we adjust for inflation, the movie would have made 922 million. It's safe to say both DC and Marvel would kill for that number right now. So what happened? I was told Warner Brothers wanted Man of Steel to hit $1 billion. It's also been said that they were chasing Marvel's success at the time. So instead of moving forward with The Man of Steel 2 and a separate movie titled The Batman, they combined them both, brought in Ben Affleck as the older Batman, and made Batman v Superman. We all know how that turned out. I mean, it made 800 and something million. Let's just go back over here. Where are we? So Batman v Superman made 872 million, which is a very respectable amount at the box office. You know, that's not too far from $1 billion, to be honest. I think that's quite respectable, and I think the movie was very well received as well. Like in the time period after the movie came out, they kind of got that cult following. But at the time when it did come out, a lot of people were very mixed. But the years following it, it got that kind of cult following. So that's kind of where we are, guys. Anyway, I just wanted to do a small update on kind of the Superman movie and kind of how it can succeed, what it needs to make, its break-even point, and yeah, kind of just those kind of figures there. So they're saying the break-even point is somewhere around the 530 million point. I've already said it, but upwards of 500 million. They're laughing, they're having a great time. But even if they make this amount of money, they need it to succeed with critics and the audiences. It's great making money, but if everyone hates your movie or is mixed on it, it's not going to do a lot to get people excited for what's coming next in the new DC cinematic universe. And that's what they need to do. Get people excited, get people on board, spread word of mouth, build up the hype, get more people on board as more movies come out. And that's what they need to try and succeed with in the earlier stages, at least anyway. So guys, you see this figure here. Do you think this is a reasonable figure, that this movie can make 530 million or even north of 500 million? What do you think about that figure? Is it reasonable, not reasonable? Whatever your thoughts are, guys, jump into the comment section and let me know what you think about this news. As always, make sure you hit the like button before you leave, consider becoming a subscriber, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all the movie news we have going on around here. And with that down, I will see you in the next video.